Those pads are sick.
Arizona State and GCU for some Sunday morning ACHA hockey action here for Cronkite News. My name is Colgan Herschel. Alongside me is Easton Stockford. Easton, both these teams, Arizona teams, facing off in this competition together here tonight. It's going to be a good matchup. Two of the top teams in the conference, in the league, in the nation. What do you have here today?
Yeah, a bit of a crosstown rivalry. Number 3 in the WCHE in Arizona State and number 1 in GCU, but ASU higher in the national rankings. GCU right around 40, while ASU is at 18th because of their strength of schedule. But a pivotal game for both these teams in a 2-2 series split right now. So need to find a way to get the upper hand in the series and maybe skyrocket them up those rankings.
Yeah, and GCU's riding the hot hand right now. 7 straight wins. They just came off of a sweep against NAU with a 6-1 win game 1 and a 7-6 win in the second game in overtime. If you're Arizona State, how do you cool off this GCU team?
You have to find a way to get a win, and it's going to be need to be physical. GCU, one of their keys is to keep that hot hand. They need to keep rolling, and ASU needs to gain some traction. Need to string together some wins here, keep climbing those rankings, and find their way up the WCHE standings.
Yeah, and for Arizona State, they just had a series against Park University, a 13-3 win in the first game, and then they fell 5-4 in the second game. Arizona State needs to come out and have a hot start. And who's going to do that for them here tonight?
Yeah, I think it's got to be a handful of guys, but the main guy you're looking at has to be Cole Allison. 7 goals, 10 assists in 17 games. Him and Cade Gramick, who has 15 points himself, have been the front runners for this ASU team. They're going to need to come up big tonight on the front end, especially against a stacked GCU goaltending unit.
Yeah, and the starter here tonight for GCU will be Anderson Stark. 8 games played, 5-2. He's got a .927 save percentage heading into the weekend before the NAU series. They have a tandem that is unbelievable here in purple here tonight, and Anderson Stark's going to be the guy bouncing back for them.
Yeah, Anderson Stark, but I mean, you look at the backup. Anderson Stark has been the backup this year with those numbers, which is outstanding, but also a testament to how strong defensively this Loeb squad is. Done a really good job all year keeping shots to the outside of their netminders, and that's what allowed them to be so successful to this point.
Yeah, he didn't get any action against NAU. It was all Luke Thurman, but still riding that .927, just a single shutout on the season so far.
GCU has been riding the wave for them. Only 25 goals allowed this year to 63 goals for, and they have been really solid defensively.
Number 25, Wyatt Laidlaw. At right defense, number 2, Colton.
Yeah, in Arizona State, that Park University first win is something that they're going to have to really stick to. That 13-3 win was huge for them, getting back in the win column. They were losers of 2 straight heading into that series. And between these two teams, you mentioned the 2-2 season record as we have some action to our right, a couple of cheers and jaws from the fans. But 2-2 on the season between these two teams. The last time GCU had a loss was against the Arizona State Sun Devils. ASU looking to bounce back into that win column. Some of those keys that you're looking at here for tonight, Easton.
Yeah, I think for ASU, like we said, gaining traction, have to piece together some games. They're coming off a decent series, and before that a loss against the 8th team in the country in Air Force, but have to find a way to gain some traction here and string together some wins and then stay out of the box. They have been terrible at getting penalties this year. 382 penalty minutes. Have to stay out of the box. Can't let this GCU power play get rolling. And then across from them for GCU, it's got to be the goaltending. The goaltending has gotten them to this point this year, and it needs to show up tonight.
Since the starters were announced, national anthem is about to begin right before puck drop here at Mountain America Ice Arena. back after the national anthem. The starters for both teams have been announced. For Arizona State, the home team, the in-goal Spencer Lebick. The backstop for this team for the majority of the season will be number 8 Dylan Went and Riley Tallis defending to start for Arizona State. And up front will be Cade Gramlich, Jason Horner, as well as Dylan Fitzpatrick on that right side, number 4 in maroon. Those will be the 5 for Arizona State. And on the other side of things, Ethan Winters up front alongside Elliot Firth and Matthew Haig in goal. As we mentioned, as Anderson Stark, and we're underway here at the MACI here in Arizona State. GCU begins with the puck out to the right. Elliot Firth will work in for GCU. A huge hit to start things off here for the Devils.
Talked about needing to be physical to slow this GCU team down that's been rolling all year long, and early signs of it there.
Gramlich will bring it out for Arizona State across the blue line. Cross to Fitzpatrick near us. Very well checked to the boards from GCU's Wyatt Laidlaw. One of the starting defensemen here tonight for GCU, the other Colton Campbell. Bodies flying to start here. Fitzpatrick out of the corner. Campbell gets a skate on it. Firth faces a check from Gramlich. Both going to the boards. GCU picks it up, and Matthew Haig will bring it out towards center. Not far enough for Fitzpatrick. It'll be an offside call as Horner got in a little too early. 19:06 through the first.
And a lot of physicality through that first minute. Bodies flying everywhere, as you said, but that's something you can expect to see from two crosstown rivals that play each other so often because of their proximity to each other. And it's not like this series has been a blowout. It's been very tight both ways, and when you get into heated rivalries like that, that's when things can really heat up and get physical.
GCU wins the faceoff on the left side. Hits off the stanchion, weird. They'll regain possession. Kislecki on the left side for GCU. Matched by a couple of Arizona State defenders, and ASU will clear. GCU in their own end. Arizona State traps it up at center ice, and now GCU will dump in. Looking out of the behind the net is Tyler Matt. And ASU looks to clear, and they do. Ref's hand goes in the air, no icing called. Good hustle there from ASU's number 21. It'll be trapped up here along the boards. Arizona State will regroup in their own end. Just a minute through here, and it's been a lot of physicality early, not a whole lot of chances through these first 2 minutes.
Yeah, hardly any shots on goal, if any, to this point. GCU has one, but other than that, hold on, nothing offensively.
Durkin throws it to the net, and just as we say that, Nolan Stasica buries the rebound, and it's the Sun Devils who get on the board here first.
And an unsuspecting play there from the half wall, but a miscommunication between a defender and Anderson Stark between the pipes, and that's about as easy of a goal as you're going to get.
Just mentioning how there hasn't really been a whole lot of offense, and just as we say that, the Elmhurst native Nolan Stasica puts his second goal of the season on the board, and Arizona State's first of this hockey game.
6x4 for him. Anderson Stark was wiped completely out of the play there, and a bit of a good break for the Sun Devils, but now it's going to come down to if they can build off of that or if it's going to be a one-off situation.
Here comes GCU looking to answer. In the corner behind the net now. Watt with it. Out to center. Colton Campbell fires. Deflected away. ASU looking to clear. Kept in by Laidlaw. Goes behind the net. Lewis trying to work it out. ASU trying to clear. Nice keep in by Campbell. It'll go into the ASU bench for a whistle.
GCU coming right back on the attack after giving up that first goal, and they've had a slight upper hand through these first 3 or so minutes despite trailing by 1. Need to find a way to turn this offensive zone draw into more offense now.
Just the second shot on goal found the back of the net for Arizona State. We'll look to answer back and keep going, build off of that momentum. Gramlich offsides, whistle will blow once again.
So that goal, Nolan Stasia, came from Joseph Rosenberg, who was the one who threw the puck on net, leading to the collision and the wide open goal.
Face-off won by GCU. Thrown out to center. Went. Couldn't recover. Faces some pressure from Johnson. Goes in the corner. Went looking to dig it out. Gets it to Gramlich. And now Arizona State has a little bit of speed through neutral ice. Fitzpatrick on the right will fire a shot on. Blockered away by Stark. Gramlich takes control. Throws it behind the net. Watt will bring it out. Won't get it past Tallis at the blue line. Nice keeping. Horner, the captain for ASU, faces a check. Gets the better of it. Now gets the puck in front. Puts a nice stick in there by GCU. ASU keeps it in. Fired shot goes wide. Tallis pinching in. He'll grab it. Cade Gramlich working out of the corner. Back to the top for Dylan Fitzpatrick. Fires a shot. Just goes wide once again. ASU showing a little bit of pressure. It squeaks out towards center ice, and Arizona State will have to regroup. A couple go for a line change on both sides. Comes Gramlich once again. Cross ice for Fitzpatrick. He fires. He scores. Dylan Fitzpatrick. What a rip. 2-0 Arizona State.
And a bit of puck luck on the first one, but there was no luck involved in that. Perfectly placed shot by Dylan Fitzpatrick on what was an incredible shift by the Sun Devils. Really good job by Dylan Wendt and Riley Tallis, keeping that pressure on, holding that blue line, and it leads to the transition opportunity, and no mistake made there from Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, it was an extended shift for Fitzpatrick and Gramlich, but they put up the goal. It's actually CJ Lovell who scored that goal. All the jerseys are a little bit different for these ACHA teams, so we're learning as it goes, but Lovell on the board for ASU. They have the 2-0 lead. They're looking to add to it here. Shot just wide from Plewa. He'll go into the corner. GCU facing an onslaught from ASU. Puck goes out to center. And they'll dump it in. So Arizona State, just 4 minutes into this hockey game, 2-0 lead.
On only 4 shots as well, scoring 50% of their shots early on.
We mentioned the goaltending and how good it was at the opener, and not proving us very kind here. Puck thrown in front, goes across.
Not a ton that Anderson Stark could have done on that first one with the collision. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication that could have been prevented, but that second shot by Lavelle was perfectly placed. So although only a 50% save percentage, you can't fault Stark too much for the 2-0 start that the Sun Devils have had.
Arizona State favors in the icing. It'll be a face-off in the GCU defensive zone. Urican on the face-off for Arizona State. Will win it back to the point. Fired in and around the boards. Urican going for it behind the net. Pinching in is one for Arizona State. And Rosenberg takes it and throws it behind the net for Urican once again. Battling with one. GCU takes it out. It's Witt. Fires it up. Faces a check at center ice. That was Wawrzyniak. Shot fired on is soaked up by Stark, and he'll hold on.
Sounded like somebody just stepped on a duck to our right.
I think they have a noisemaker just to our right, by the looks of it.
It looks like some GCU fans over there.
Urican on the draw once again with Firth. Firth gets the better of it this time. Wettenberg behind in the corner, out to the point. Looked like a fake shot, just slid off the stick of Lewis. Now it's GCU on the offense, but offside's called once again.
I actually spoke with Brennan Lewis's father just before this game started. From Chicago, Illinois, grew up playing junior hockey there, AAA with the Chicago Fury before playing for the Orland Park Vikings at the AA level, and now he's here in Tempe at Arizona State University.
It's a pretty good shift in terms of weather, at least. I mean,
especially this time of year.
Cool 60 degrees out here in Tempe, Arizona.
Blizzarding in Chicago.
Went couldn't keep the puck in at the blue line, and it goes out. They'll have to regroup. ASU already a 2-0 lead here in the first period. So look to enter the zone once again. Chip to the far side. It's Friedman working it back to the point. Pinching in his Wendt. Get it back for Bedame behind the net. Trying to work it out in front. Shot fired just wide. Nice stick by GCU. Flip it up off the glass. Kept in by Arizona State. Big hit at the blue line from Firth, and he'll take the puck. Cross center. He'll fire. Nice stick by Friedman. Big check on the boards once again. Big physicality to start off this game. That one's out of play.
Yeah, physicality slowly ramping up ever since that first shift. But GCU needs to find a way to string together some passes back in their own end. They're throwing a lot of pucks up the wall right now and allowing that ASU blue line to hem it in there. Specifically, Dylan Wendt and Riley Tallis have done a great job of that tonight.
Yeah, they really haven't been able to sustain any offensive zone time. It's been all ASU in that category, and here they come once again. Lovell down the right. Into the middle for Gramlich. Backhand over the right side. Took a weird hop off the stanchion. So Arizona State will benefit from that. Zettler trying to work it out in front. Instead, he's behind the net. Flips up in the air. Lovell trying to get a stick on it. And he does, and it's whacked on front. And Anderson Stark makes the cover, and some extracurriculars will resume.
Yeah, a lot going on in front of Anderson Stark there. Looked like about 8 bodies. Puck was loose. Good job by him to keep his eye on it, track it nicely, and made a rather difficult save look pretty easy.
Yeah, he's had a slow start here this afternoon, but it seems like he's picked it up here last few minutes. Behind the net, Gramlich with a big hit. Fitzpatrick, Lovell trying to dig it out. It's thrown out to center. Arizona State recover once again. It's thrown to the right side. Will it go far enough for icing? No, it won't. Referee waves it off. GCU out of their own zone. Lovell traps up. Arizona State fires into the glove and out of Stark. And once again, he recovers. Horner fell. Lovell that was.
Lovell with took a spill there, but a great job there by Horner on the second effort to strip that puck away at the top of the circles, creating that chance there for the Sun Devils.
Opponent Lovell wearing Dylan Fitzpatrick's number 4. Rookie jerseys don't come in for quite some time. That puck is deflected out of play.
There's been some issues with the jersey manufacturers this year, so still sharing jerseys, I should say. So if you're not playing, someone's wearing your jersey.
Someone's always wearing a jersey of someone else's here in these games for ACHA hockey. That's just how we do it here.
Last game before the winter break, though, so hopefully Sun Devils can get their new jerseys before we return in January.
Still have the puck in the defensive zone. Turned over, though. GCU looking to answer. Couldn't keep it in at the line, though. That was Lucas Cernacca. He just couldn't keep it in. Whistle blows for offsides.
And that's the second time a marquee chance has been erased by an offsides for the Lopes. They had one a couple minutes ago where they would have had a 2-on-1, but offsides, and then stepping in the high slot there would have been another ice opportunity if it weren't for the whistle.
GCU off the faceoff. Arizona State takes control. Coming back the other way is Allison. Chip into the middle. A poke on net. Did Stark recover? He had it covered. It squirted loose. On the side of the net, Arizona State wasn't able to capitalize.
A great play by Cole Allison to just put that one into space, giving Tyler Tremoroli a chance to get a stick on it there. Just couldn't get enough of it to get past Stark. I believe that's Liam Keyhane wearing number 21 as well.
Just about to mention
Puck was loose on that back door, but he couldn't bang it home before the whistle. Don't think the ref could see it.
Arizona State keeps it at the line. Shot fired on by Wenenberg. The rebound still there. Anderson Stark pokes that to the corner. GCU takes control back again. They have numbers, but a nice back check there from Arizona State. Wenenberg takes control. Rosenberg through neutral ice. Looking around the left side. Pass in front, shot fired, and Anderson Stark holds on.
Only one shot for the Lopes through nearly 9 minutes. Getting outshot by 10, and they're in desperate need of any signs of life at the moment.
11-1 in shots in favor of Arizona State. 2-0 the score. Rosenberg takes the puck off the draw. Fires a pass across behind the back pass to Wettenberg, and they score. What a beautiful pass from Zachariah Urikin. As Arizona State adds the third goal of this hockey game, 3-0 here early for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, another beautiful passing play by the Sun Devils. They call those tic-tac-toes, and Wetterberg doing a great job, looking like he's going to shoot Freezing Stark and then pulling it to his backhand, and wide open net for him as he just slid it on the ice right into the 6x4.
Eyes in the back of his head from Urikin. 3-0 Arizona State.
And it's been a dominant 3-0 at that. It's been all Sun Devils.
Puck bounces up, the offsides for Arizona State.
Wetterberg from your Kennedy Sassica. Time of the goal, 11:01 remaining in the first period.
So Arizona State and GCU will face off on the right side, just outside of the GCU defensive zone. We've seen it a lot here on this side of the ice here in this first period. It's been pretty much the entirety of the first half of the period played to our right. Friedman and Paulitis behind the net. GCU off the boards. Friedman will take control. Another backhand pass in front. This time it doesn't work, and here comes GCU out the other way. Winters with it. Failed to capitalize on a pass across the ice. Arizona State chips it back out to center. Collision just inside the GCU offensive zone, and 3 fall in front of the Arizona State bench. So ASU will work it out.
Some shots given by both sides there. Maybe some frustrations from GCU starting to boil over in this first period.
Went, fired a shot to the left, looking for a pass. And working in front was Arizona State. Friedman. Look on the left side. A big hit there. That one will raise the arm of the official. That was Lovell on the hit. He absolutely rocked one just across from us.
And that physicality that we talked about just growing more and more. Lovell was putting a headlock when he was down on the ice as well, it looked like.
He was putting a headlock, but I think they're going to send both to the box. It's going to be Elliot Firth and Conant Lovell who will head to the box. So coincidentals, we might see 4-on-4 hockey here.
It's like one got 2 for a cross check and one got unsportsmanlike conduct from the looks of it.
So I believe that will be 4-on-4. There's only 4 Lopes on the ice for GCU, 4 Sun Devils. Still a little bit of confusion. Another one's heading to the box for GCU. So Elliot Firth receives a 2 and a 10.
Would unless there's a second Lope who got tied up in that, but
I don't believe. We'll get the official announcement here.
GCU number 15, Elliot Firth, 2 minutes for boarding and 2 minutes for cross-checking.
So he gets a double penalty, Elliot Firth. 2 separate penalties, so it'll be an Arizona State power play here. It's Tallis on the left side now. Allison fires, blocked in front. GCU looking to clear, and they can't. Tallis keeps it in. Power play for Arizona State. 2 Lopes in the box, 1 for Arizona State. 5-on-4 hockey here. Already a 3-0 lead for the Sun Devils. Allison tried to keep it in at the point, just exploded off his stick. It goes back out to center for Tallis. Tremorelli couldn't find Allison with the pass. It's another penalty coming up. It's going to be a hold on Cole Allison. So just like that, the power play for Arizona State is wiped away. It'll be 4-on-4 hockey. So a little bit of foreshadowing from us earlier.
yeah, you just predicted it. It wasn't, you weren't mistaken, you were just waiting for it. But a little more ice out there now one less guy out there for either team. This is where you want your fastest players out there. Use that free ice. Try and create some odd man rushes, and on the defensive side of the puck, maybe switch to a man-to-man tactic where everyone glues onto a guy and tries to prevent those odd man rushes.
And this is what we talked about in the opener, just penalties for Arizona State. You have to limit that. You just had a power play. Gramlich left side fires off the blocker or shoulder of Stark and out of play.
And going back to that point, timely penalties as well. You're on a power play. Can't erase it with a holding call, and it's a stick penalty if it's a rough on a big hit, maybe something like that or something with effort, but have to find a way to stay disciplined in those areas.
The GCU who will take the puck off the faceoff. Looking to clear. Horner, nice stick in. Will take the puck back for Arizona State. Gramlich gets a huge hit forced on him on the boards. GCU takes control. Out through center. Poked at the line by Lewis. Now in the far corner. Arizona State takes back control, and Lewis will go behind the net. 36 seconds remaining on the first penalty.
GCU going to have about half a minute of power play time here. Maybe try and dig into that 3-goal deficit.
Looking out of the corner. Puck goes all the way down the ice, not far enough for icing as it goes in on Stark, and he's going to be forced to cover. It's a little bit of a flyby from one of the Sun Devils, but Stark wasn't able to play in time.
Just 20 seconds remaining on that first penalty now. Be huge if ASU could win this draw and kill off some clock once that penalty is over. And if not, GCU might have an opportunity for a stretch pass with that late guy out of the box.
Paulitis in the corner. He works it out to center. Yurkin couldn't get a stick on it. Goes back to the point. Yurkin in the corner looking for a pass in front. He finds one. They score again. Another beautiful pass from Zachariah Yurkin. 4-0 Arizona State. 2 seconds left on the GCU penalty.
And they did win the draw, and they capitalized on it. 2 seconds remaining on that 4-on-4. Great job to get another insurance goal right before going to the penalty kill as well. And what a pass that is from Zachariah Yurkinen right under the stick of the GCU defender. And Don Paulitis able to bang that one home for the 4th Arizona State goal in this first period.
Yurkinen once again, the beautiful pass. The Sun Devils add their 4th goal this hockey game. GCU's penalty over, so now Arizona State, all they have to do is kill off 30 seconds of the Cole Allison penalty. It's Firth out of the box. Looking for a pass in the middle, goes to the corner. Yurkinen looking to get hit on. Firth helps out in the corner. GCU back to the point. It's with Watt. Back down low. GCU looking to cycle just 6 seconds before Allison's out of the box.
GCU still only with one shot as well.
Here might come another one. Instead, it goes high and wide. Arizona State kills off the penalty. GCU retains possession. It's Arizona State, a high flipper to center ice is gloved down. Big hit just beyond the blue line. The whistle will blow for a hand pass. And the other 2 players will exit out of the box. Actually, just be Lovell who will leave.
And it looks like the GCU player, that is Firth, is going to have to wait because the 2-minute penalty, he had the double minor, and because it's offsetting penalties, his second 2-minute penalty wouldn't start until the first one is over. So meaning he has to wait in the box for 4 minutes as compared to 2, because technically it was a 4-minute penalty with only 2 minutes offsetting.
Interesting. Actually, it looks like the player will come out of the box and he'll be replaced by Firth, as it was Firth's penalty. So that's interesting. So Firth actually exited the box for his 2-minute penalty. I wonder if GCU would is that a penalty?
Is that allowed?
He's supposed to be in the box for 4 minutes, or 2 minutes after this 2 minutes are up.
So technically he left the box before he was eligible to, but nothing is going to come of it as it seems.
Club hockey is the gift that keeps on giving, Houston. Arizona State wins the faceoff into GCU zone, and they'll clear. Zettler will go back for it.
I'm pretty confident, Colgan, that the 0 people watching understood the explanation I just gave.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know how much I understood it. But if it makes sense, it makes sense.
Which it didn't.
GC with a shot off the shoulder of Lebick. It's his first save in quite some time. He hasn't had a whole lot of shots, just the second shot he's faced in the period. Out towards center, Arizona State working it into the GCU zone. Allison takes control, works towards the middle, fires it just over the head of Stark. Zettler in the corner, in front to Tremoroli for Cole Allison. Can he get it on net? No, he gets it off the toe. Back to the point. Over to Allison, into the middle. Play with a shot, just goes wide. Zettler behind the net for Tremoroli. Faces the check of Watt. Back out in front for Allison. Just chucked wide. GCU pinned up on the boards by Plewa. Nice job pinning the man on the boards from Plewa, and now he'll work in. Allison helps out, fires just a blind backhand pass to the slot, and GCU will take control. Cerneka through center, fires in on Lebick, and he makes the stop.
Really good shift there from that unit for the Sun Devils. Almost looked like a power play, creating a number of chances, and their forecheck looks rock solid right now. GCU cannot find a way around it.
Your cannon over for Plewa. He was looking for the second pass, couldn't find him. Back out to the point. Shot fired on by Lewis, tipped wide by Jurkinen. Into the corner. Rosenberg helping out. He'll take control. Fires a pass into the middle. One was coming off the bench. That was Wettenberg. It's now Rosenberg into the corner. Wettenberg back to the point. Lewis dumps it in. Jurkinen behind the net. Goes past a couple of GCU defenders. Wettenberg gets a hit on. Arizona State full pressure here in this first period. They've had the majority of the ice time here in the offensive zone. Laidlaw behind the net, pressured by Rosenberg. This unit has been one of the best lines for Arizona State all afternoon. Lewis, nice move at the line. Faces a check. Rosenberg in the corner. It's tied up by 1. It's 2 Sun Devils in the corner. Wettenberg looking to work it out behind the net. Arizona State looking to keep it in. They can. It just squirts towards center. And it's Kislecki who's trying to get some pressure for GCU, but Lewis just dumps it in.
And ASU is just rolling right now. This forecheck looks unstoppable. They're rotating perfectly. The D are stepping down in the aggressive forecheck. Guys are filling for them. When they step down, it's a symphony out there right now for the Sun Devils.
GCU looking to quiet that attack. It's flipped out towards center. Deflected down by Tallis. And Arizona State once again will bring it back in. Paulitis shakes off one, fires it towards the middle, goes wide. At the point now, Friedman on the left. Hit in from 1. Squirts out towards the middle. GCU tried to just chip it out. They couldn't. It's tapped down by 1, and it will be a hand pass on Arizona State.
ASU, part of the reason they've been so dominant is because they're winning the blue lines. There hasn't been a ton of action at their blue line, but when it has been there, they've created turnovers, and they have kept so many pucks in their zone, which has allowed that pressure to mount, wearing down GCU defenders. And when they get to the end of those long shifts, that's when ASU has been able to capitalize and punch in their goals.
It's been a solid forecheck for Arizona State as well. Tallis through center. Working in on 1. Tried a backhand shot on net. Couldn't get anything on it. Friedman's hit in the corner, but Dame back out to the point. Went, fires a shot on. It just goes across the crease. GCU's Ward out towards center. Now GCU dumps it in. Couldn't get as far of the blue line. It'll be offsides once again for the Lopes.
It feels like every time they bring it into the offensive zone, it's been offsides. And they're getting outshot 17-2 right now, and it's been a 4-goal first period for the Sun Devils, and there's still 3 minutes left.
It's been all Sun Devils here in this first period. If you're head coach Joe Lappin, you have to be just thrilled with your team's performance here so far. Lovell trying to add to that. Right side, fires it on. Rebound still there. And Stark gets the second one and covers.
Yeah, good first save by Stark. Was a little out of position, but a really nice recovery there to reposition himself and swallow up that second one.
First line for the Sun Devils of Graham-Leach, Horner, and Lovell. Still putting some pressure on. Horner wins the faceoff into the corner. Back out to the point. Shot fired on. Hit a GCU lope in front, deflected to the corner. Met with Graham-Leach. 2 lopes, now 2 Devils, and it's Lovell who works out. Looking to find one. Zettler coming in from the point. Into the middle for Horner. Nice stop from Anderson Stark. A huge hit here on the right side. That was Delayo. He finds the puck in front. It's deflected out of play.
He's going straight over to the official. He wants a call. Maybe thought it was boarding, but he's now getting ushered to his bench. But physicality definitely ramping up from the Lopes, trying to find some type of momentum down by 4. And physicality is most definitely a way to do that.
DeLeo with the shot. He was also arguing with the referee. He was the one who was hit here on the near side. As my partner mentioned, he thought it should have been a penalty. GCU wins the faceoff, tries to chip it off the glass, and they clear. They'll have an opportunity to do the same. Haig dumps it in. Behind the net, it's Lewis. Plewa works it out. Allison down the right side, into the zone. Looking to find one coming off the bench. No, that was Lewis pinching in from the blue line. He now has to back check as Firth will dump it in.
And GCU with an odd man rush there. They were 4-on-3, but just dumping it in. Maybe throwing away an opportunity for at least a shot on goal at this point, if not a scoring chance.
You need to get everything on net if you're GCU. You only have 2 shots in this period. Arizona State is doubling you with your goals as compared to your shots. Puck goes in on net on Anderson Stark. He'll lift it out to center. Winters through neutral ice. Just some miscommunication there at the pitchfork. As Tallis whips. He'll regain control. As GCU will just regroup. Just a single minute remaining in this first period. Arizona State still leading 4-0. That'll be an icing on GCU.
And another puck just needed to be thrown away there as GCU was on their heels, but they have not been able to establish clean possession all afternoon. And you talked about needing to get any shots on goal, and with only 2 shots this period, this is where GCU needs to catch Spencer Lebick sleeping. He hasn't had a lot of action, and facing a shot after a period and just standing there in the blue paint is one of the harder things to do, and it's a lot more difficult compared to facing 30 shots and then having to stop one from the outside.
Sun Devils go right back to this third line that has been torn for them in this first period. Just 35 seconds remaining. GCU brings it through neutral. Jordan Watt across the blue line, looking to fire a shot on, blocked in front by Tallis. Wettenberg grabs the puck on the boards. Went comes in and helps him out. Jurkinen out for Rosenberg. Fires a shot on just wide. Wettenberg behind the net for Rosenberg. Out in front, fires. Wide again. Rosenberg recovers 2 and 1. That'll do it for the first period here in Arizona State. 4-0 lead for the home team, Easton. It was all Arizona State in that first period.
Yeah, their forecheck was firing on cylinders. We talked about how they were winning blue lines as well, and they looked dominant in every single aspect of the game. GCU needs to wake up, needs to find a way to get themselves back into this one and get themselves out of bed because they were sleeping in that first frame.
22-2 are the shots in favor of the Sun Devils. 4-0 is the lead heading into the first intermission. That's where we'll see this game resume in 15 minutes. We're back here at Mountain America Community Iceplex Arena for the second period between Arizona State and GCU. Colgan Herschel, Easton Stockford with you. 4-0 Arizona State after that first period. It was an onslaught of Arizona State, 4 goals in total, outshooting the GCU Lopes 22-20.
And it was all zone time for the Sun Devils as well, and it was all shots. We'll have a look at some of the goals here. Starting with the first one, started on kind of a broken play that eventually ended up in a miscommunication that caused Anderson Stark to fly into his defenseman, wide open net there. So a bit of a break on the first one. You have a look at it here, just a thrown puck in front from Jurkinen, who has 3 assists on the night, Colgan.
Yeah, and it was Stasica who found the back of the net on that first goal for Arizona State.
When we look at the second one now, or rather the third one, another assist for Jurkinen, who got it along the half wall and a beautiful feed through the seam it was to the back door. We'll try and find it here, but
it was eventually Jurkinen, but
Jurkinen.
It was his second assist. He had 2 assists in that first period. The second 2 goals is what he capitalized on for the 2 assists. First one on Keegan Wettenberg's goal, the second one on Dominic Paulitis' goal, but he was so impressive in that first period. Just a couple of really nifty passes from Zachariah Jurkinen, and he was probably the best player in that first period for Arizona State.
Definitely the most impactful, got on the score sheet the most, but Arizona State is playing like a cohesive unit right now and has been all Sun Devils through one. We'll see if that trend continues. What do you think GCU needs to do differently?
They just need to get pucks on that. 22-2 is unacceptable if you're the Lopes. You're supposed to be a top team in the conference, and they just didn't play like that in that first period. But there's still 40 minutes of hockey left to be played. A lot can happen here.
They had 15 minutes to figure it out. We'll see if it shows.
Arizona State will throw out the first line to begin the second period, and Went will take control off the faceoff. Gramlich will get it into GCU zone.
And right back on the attack, straight out of the intermission. Sun Devils already on the forefront.
Gramlich couldn't take control. Lovell with a shot goes high and wide. It'll be Went back out to center, who will gain possession for Arizona State. Misses a pass, stays onside for the moment.
And after the whistle, there was a bang-bang play, but Dylan Went absolutely leveled his man in open ice. So physicality
Continuing.
staying as a big part of this game so far, and I don't see that going anywhere anytime soon.
Be Firth and Horner on the faceoff. Firth wins it back, and it's flipped right up by us. And it goes just over our heads. We both try and make a play on that one, but just goes a little bit too far.
Just out of our reach there, and honestly, that might be a good thing. Might have been a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, it could have been deadly with a lot of very expensive equipment right below us, but nonetheless, face off just outside the GCU defensive zone. They'll win it. Stick goes flying in the air this time. That was Gramlich's. So a couple of chaotic turns to start the second period. Firth breaks in on the zone. Went, took a tumble, got back up and deflected it out of play. Be a face-off to the left of Lebick.
And Dylan Went and Riley Tallis have been the top 2 D-man for this D3 squad all year long, and they've looked exceptional tonight. On the offensive end, haven't had a ton of action on the backside, but a great stick there from Dylan Went to keep one off goal and get a whistle here.
Firth's line remains on the ice. Face-off won by Arizona State. Allison misses the puck on the boards. As GCU keeps it in. Firth coming down the slot. Goes to the top of the circle, fires a shot off the stick of a Sun Devil and into the netting and out of play.
Another stick, almost the same result as well, but a little more life from this GCU squad. A couple shot attempts to start this period, and they've had the offensive zone for the last 30, 35 seconds.
You'd have to imagine that was the message in the locker room. There's just everything on net, and they definitely have been showing it here to begin the second period.
Well, you got to shoot to score, and 2 shots isn't going to do much.
There's another one from Witt that goes wide. Arizona State pressuring, Tremoroli trying to grab it out. He goes to center ice on the boards. Held up by 2 Lopes. Back out towards center. GCU working it in, a nice grab there by Lebick. He'll hold on.
So a number of shots there. Not many found their target, but GCU is starting to find their footing here. Maybe got an inspired intermission speech. I'm sure it wasn't a happy one, but clearly working effectively.
Yeah, the 12-2 GCU Lopes down 4-0 to Arizona State. But this is a Sun Devil team that has their number all season. Their only 2 losses are to the Sun Devils. Stasica goes behind the net. Wetterberg gets the clear out. GCU will go right back into the zone. Lewis faces a check and gets it out to center. It's GCU along the boards. Wetterberg couldn't take control. Instead, it's Rosenberg. Rosenberg looked to check one entering the zone. It was deflected into the zone. GCU keeps it in. Whistle is blown. There will be a penalty coming. I believe it'll be on Arizona State's Wetterberg. It will be. He'll head to the box for a hook.
Huge opportunity for the Lopes here. They'll have a full 2-minute power play, and a power play that has been pretty solid this year. This Lopes team has been good on special teams, and 70%. I don't know if that's a typo or not, but that's an unbelievable power play percentage.
I believe that is not a typo, my friend. 70% for this GCU team. Fires a shot immediately, blocked away by Lebick. Another one from Firth. Gets the pad of Lebick, and Arizona State tried to clear an amazing keep at the blue line by Winters. So GCU retains. Taos will finally get the clear for Arizona State.
What a keep that was by Winters, and that's why hockey teams play soccer for warm-ups right there, using his skates perfectly to keep that one in.
GCU through center ice. It's Laidlaw working it towards the corner. Talos matches him. Puck squirts out. Winters with another amazing keep at the blue line. Second one of the power play. Watt behind the net in front. Stopped by Lebick. Cole Allison looking to clear, and he's rocked right by the GCU bench. That is an absolutely massive hit from Matthew Haig. The helmet goes flying of Cole Allison.
Full yard sale, stick in the air, glove in the air, helmet in the air, and Cole Allison looks to be okay, but boy, was he leveled.
That was an absolutely massive hit on the boards. Cole Allison somehow popped up almost immediately after that. That was unbelievably huge from GCU. It will be a penalty, though, on Matthew Haig.
Gonna get a charging call, one too many strides, but
It will be a penalty.
almost hard not to call one at that level of contact and with objects flying in all directions, but that erases GCU's power play.
That might have been one of the biggest hits that I have ever seen, Easton. I mean,
That was definitely the biggest hit I've seen this season, but
it's absolutely a miracle that Cole Allison just got right back up from that hit.
took it like a champ. He was kind of fishing for the puck behind him a little bit, trying to get it out of the zone on that penalty kill. And
As we talked about earlier, ACHA hockey is the gift that keeps on giving. GCU back into the offensive zone. It's now 4-on-4 hockey for about a minute. Went spins off one. Still spinning and turning. That gives it back for Tallis. Up the ice looking for Lovell. He's got it. Across the blue line. Lovell trying the wrap. And he scores! Conant Lovell. What a goal. It's 5-0 Arizona State.
that's their second 4-on-4 goal of this game, and shades of the late Johnny Gaudreau there on the wraparound, bringing it around. Looked like it went off the skate of Anderson Stark down there, but what a goal that is by Lavelle, and the lead just keeps growing.
Arizona State capitalizing on virtually every one of their chances. They get an opportunity to go 4-on-4 after a huge hit. It's now 5-0. Still outscoring the GCU shots. Zettler behind the net. Turns over though. Johnson trying to work it out in front. Horner gives it, and Arizona State comes back the other way. Plewa through neutral ice. Sun Devils behind the net. Stark trying to get a stick on it, couldn't. GCU will work out. Across the blue line, will dump it in. Zettler and Rusty Johnson in the corner. It's thrown out in front. No GCU could get to it. We'll just try and work it back in. They do. Rusty Johnson across. Sun Devils spend time in the offensive zone to kill their penalty. They're now on a power play for 37 seconds. Zettler faces a check at center ice, and Wetterberg tried to get some attack going, but GCU clears it. Wetterberg at neutral, once again turned around by GCU. So as you were talking about, the GCU power play was 70%. We'll go down a tick here, but it was pretty much all Arizona State, even with. I mean, they had a couple of nice opportunities in the offensive zone for GCU, but Sun Devils are looking to match here. Across the ice, Sun Devils still with it. Wetterberg fires a shot just wide. Corner behind the net. GCU's penalty is over. Goes off the glass. Kaslicki, or Haig, trying to make some action happen once again with the hit. GCU forcing the body here. Still keep it in.
And this GCU team definitely looks a little more inspired this period, throwing their weight around a lot. Not that they didn't do that in the first, but doing it with a little more purpose now.
A huge hit in neutral ice. Virtually with no possession was Wetterberg. No call, though. Sun Devils looking to add on to this massive lead. It's Went behind the net. It's tripped up. It's the Sun Devils. Still with it. Went fires a shot. Goes just to the right. Friedman keeps it in. Chops it towards Stark, and he'll glove it. 5-0 lead for Arizona State. It's been the physicality for GCU that's kept them in this hockey game, but hanging on by a thread.
And the fact that ASU has more goals than they do shots really tells the whole story and how dominant they have been here tonight. 4 shots isn't going to get it done in any hockey game ever.
Sun Devils coaches were giving the referees a little bit of a word after that no call on the Wetterberg hit. Zettler keeps it in.
It's going to be important that the referees don't let this game get too far out of hand, because with them being crosstown rivals, I could see both teams getting physical if this one keeps trending in the direction of a blowout.
Man, if this thing gets any more physical than we already had, we might have another Malice at the Palace here.
As long as no one jumps the glass and tries to fight me.
Dominic Paulitis is taken down. There will be a penalty this time on GCU, and will send Arizona State back to the power play.
Last time they were on the power play, it was quickly erased, as neither team has really had a full 2 minutes yet. ASU took a penalty on their first power play and had about 30 seconds on the back half of the 4-on-4 advantage that they had, so maybe the first chance for them to get a full 2 minutes here. A power play that's sitting right at 27% on the season.
We mentioned it a lot in the first period of just how Arizona State was able to keep the puck in the zone, and that's why they've been able to have this action in this lead. They've really continued that here in the second period.
And they're going to continue to do it on this power play. If I had to guess, they're running a power play with 3 guys up top, where they're going to try and work it around the top of this umbrella and work something through the seams. But it almost looks like they're switching more to an overload on the left side.
Lovell's shot goes off a GCU in front. Tallis at the point. Cross the ice for Lovell. He's got one. He fires off the blocker. Off the top of the glass, kept in. Lovell grabs it back on the boards. Penalty to Payson Harbeck for tripping. It's Tallis at the top. Firing a shot just to the left of Stark. Sun Devils keep possession. Lovell faces a poke check. They'll go out towards center, and Tallis will have to go back in retreat.
And good puck movement by the Sun Devils, but couldn't get any high quality chances or any good shots in that first half of the power play. 60 seconds remaining now.
Conant Level with some speed. He scored from there just a few minutes ago. Went at the top. Work it behind the net, looking for a pass in front. He finds one. It pops up into the air, and it lands just to the left of Stark, and Arizona State wasn't able to capitalize. Allison walks the line, fakes past one. Puck squirts back up to the top. Lovell wasn't able to keep it in. Went will keep this power play going for ASU. Sun Devils looking to catch GCU in a line change. And it was Gramlich who took the puck at the blue line, but took it just offside, so Sun Devils with a missed opportunity there.
And a really good chance. All four Lopes went to the bench, and the stretch pass was there for Dylan Wendt, but nobody was really yelling at him to stretch it up that quickly, so it took him an extra second to move that puck, which could have led to a breakaway.
Yeah, Gramlich had an opportunity there to capitalize on the changing GCU Lopes, but instead Wendt will take it behind his own net and up through center. Low on the right. Back up top. Pitch and catch with Wendt and Plewa across the ice for Wetterberg. It goes through the crease, and GCU's able to get it out. Failed keep-in attempt. Rusty Johnson now through center. He's got one crashing the net. Referee gets in the way. So GCU will kill off the power play.
So 0 for 3 now, although that was their first full power play. Still no power play goals on the night, but 2 goals coming at 4-on-4.
A lot more open ice on 4-on-4. Arizona State has been able to capitalize. GCU chips it off the glass. It's off the stanchion once again. Winters deflects it into the zone. Lewis around. GCU takes control. It's Firth. Chips it back up to the point. Witt across the ice for Laidlaw. He'll fire. Nice block by Lewis. Rosenberg will get it out. Firth tried to keep it in. They'll take control across the blue line. Cuts towards the middle, inside and out. Still without a stick is Lewis. He'll just kick it. And it'll be a penalty on Arizona State for interference. See who goes to the box. I believe it'll be Lewis. See, he didn't have a stick and interfered on that play, so it'll send this torrent GCU power play back onto the ice.
Looks like it's going to be Rosenberg. I didn't quite catch what happened on that one, but clearly got in the way of someone. And as you said, this GCU power play has been really good all year long, but need to find a way to get on the board here, trailing by 5.
Yeah, Lewis was headed to the bench without a stick. He looked pretty upset, thought it was him on the penalty. Instead, it's Rosenberg. Stopped by Lebick leads to the Arizona State clear. It's a big power play here for GCU. You're down 5-0. You only have 4 shots on the board. If you can put a goal on the board, this would be huge for some momentum.
It almost feels like they need to. Well, half the game has gone by now, still trailing by 5 as they go off sides, but have to find a way to punch one in here and cut the lead to 4 if you're going to have any chance of coming back.
Yeah, they just haven't really been able to get any sort of setup in the offensive zone, even on the power play. Their last one was probably the most time that they've spent in the offensive zone at one time. And even then, it led to a penalty and then a goal for ASU. It's Witt up the ice for Kislecki. Through the blue line, throwing it towards the net, behind the net now. Back out in front. Hacks and whacks. Goes just to the left of Lebick. Thrown around the net and cleared by Arizona State.
So good chance there for the Lopes. Probably one of their best looks of this entire game in front, but again, just couldn't hem down on the stick there and get a clean shot off.
Mason went across, gets past Zettler, throws it in front, backhander on just to the left of Lebick. Once again, working it out in front. Kislecki tried a shot, another block by ASU. Puck is still there. Johnson couldn't get a shot on, and it goes out towards center. And Allison has a breakaway in on. He shoots, and it goes just to the right.
Great read
of
there.
Stark.
Great read there by Anderson. Stark slid across, which is a rather big commitment on a breakaway, but read him like a book and shut the door.
Backhander on from GCU. Can't set up. Allison cherry picking once again. The puck finds him again. This time he has another breakaway. In all alone. Cole Allison couldn't get it past Stark once again. 2 breakaway stocks for Stark on the power play. And I think Cole Allison just threw Logan Kislecki's stick out of play.
They got tangled up. Both had a hold of each other's stick.
Oh, and the referee now takes a tumble.
Oh, the gift that keeps on giving, Colgan. It's the season of giving. It's the holiday season, and clearly it's showing as Cole Allison played the Grinch there and took away the stick of Kislecki.
Normally the Grinch is taking away Christmas. Cole Allison took away Kislecki's stick. They both go to the box. I'm very curious to see what the calls are going to be on this.
I would have to imagine unsportsmanlike conduct or delay a game maybe.
Can you get a penalty? Can the penalty be called throwing the stick out of play? That'd be a great one.
It's like those NFL calls where they're like, he was giving them the business down low. But that I played.
Where's Wes McCauley when you need him?
Yeah, well, I would love a microphone on these refs for this call, but in all my years of watching, playing, covering hockey, I don't think I've ever seen that.
So as a reminder, there's already a penalty on Arizona State. Rosenberg in the box. So I believe if these are not offsetting penalties, it will be 4-on-3 for GCU. Still awaiting the calls here. But just a unbelievable play. Here's the breakaway from Cole Allison. Got the stick in. Players were tied up. I believe Allison just took the stick out of the hands of Kislecki and chucked it over the glass. So unfortunately for any of the fans here, the stands are just behind us and to our right. So there's nobody over there to receive that stick. But
Cole Allison dropped his stick and saw Kislecki's and said, maybe I want that one instead. And
then he said, nah, I'm just going to throw it.
And he didn't like it. So not the right curve, straight over the glass.
5-0 Arizona State. Still out shooting GCU 29-5. Here's the penalties now.
Logan Kislecki, 2 minutes for slashing. On your Sun Devils, number 16, Cole Allison, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Timeable penalty.
So it'll be a slash on Logan Kislecki of GCU and unsportsmanlike on Cole Allison.
So my question is now, if that slash was on the breakaway, why not a penalty shot? Is it because Cole Allison got a penalty and you can't take a penalty shot when you're in the box? Not sure.
You know, that's an incredible inquiry. I've never heard of a player having a penalty shot awarded and then getting a penalty. But, you know, the coaches are talking with Allison in the box.
See something new every day.
So it's going to be 4-on-3 for GCU, and it'll be a face-off to the left of Logan Stark, except for the fact, no, it'll be 5-on-4. So the penalties do offset.
Just kind of looking forward to some 4-on-3 power play action.
You don't really see it too often.
You almost never see it unless it's 3-on-3 overtime, but it's always entertaining to see how teams set up and go about executing those power plays and penalty kills.
Nonetheless, after all those shenanigans, the puck is dropped. Just 5 seconds remaining on Arizona State's penalty. GCU looking to capitalize on the limited time they have left. It's Witt around the net. Laidlaw behind.
Back to 5-on-5 now as well.
Matthew Haig right back to Laidlaw. Wyatt Laidlaw trying to chip it around. It's GCU with a little bit of pressure here. Shot fired to the left. Laidlaw pinching in once again. Takes control, and Firth wasn't able to get it past Horner. It goes all the way down. Won't go far enough for icing. Good pinch in there from Arizona State. Will be offsides on the Sun Devils. Just across the halfway point of this game, 5-0 Arizona State. It was all ASU in the first period. It's evening out a little bit here, but still the Sun Devils with all the pressure.
And still not very many shots, if any, in this period. I think GCU has 2 shots, or they rather have 3. So 2 shots in the first period for them, and now only 3 12 minutes into this middle frame. So I guess a slight improvement, but still lacking quite a bit.
Level across the blue line, it pops out though. GCU across the blue line, shot fired on, sticked away by Lebick. It's behind the net. Wawrzyniak trying to get it back out. Goes into the corner. GCU looking to add their first goal of the game. Instead, goes right into the glove of Lebick, and he covers.
So with those 2 offsetting penalties, both of them will be out of the box with, I believe that is going to be 6 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the period.
Believe so. Face off to the left of Lebick. GCU trying to take control. Wetterberg tying up the stick of 1. Battle along the boards right in front of us. GCU keeps it in. Dump it around Lewis to Stasica on the boards. Wetterberg sends one to the ground. Your Cannon trying to get it up the ice, couldn't, and GCU takes it back. Shot fired on over the head of Lebick from Campbell. GCU with another keep. Another shot bouncing towards the middle. Campbell on the left side, and he scores! Colton Campbell finally finds an answer for Lebick. 5-1 Arizona State, the first goal of the game for GCU.
Yeah, and that's, wait for the noisemakers to stop, but that's the first step they need to coming back in this one, and it's in a good time as well. They still have enough time to get 4 more. It's obviously going to take a lot, but got to start with 1 and then focus on the second now.
Puck just found Colton Campbell on the left side, and he made no mistake to bury it. It's the first time we've really seen any sort of breakdown in the defensive zone for Arizona State, and the Lopes capitalized. So maybe that'll give them a little bit of life here in the second period.
And ASU needs to keep their foot on the gas here. Can't afford to get caught sleeping at the wheel and have to play aggressively. Can't play to protect the 4-goal lead. Have to try and add to it.
You need to just keep going. Still out shooting 29-8. That number is slowly dwindling for ASU. Puck kept in at the blue line. Shot fired on towards the net. GCU now has an opportunity. Taking 1 down in neutral ice. Still it's GCU with the puck. Kick towards the middle. Watt shy to shot. Goes off the leg. It'll be a penalty coming up to Arizona State. Watt behind the net, and ASU touches up. Be an interference.
Yeah, and Colgan, I'm not too sure about this one. It looked like it's DeLulio who's going to the box, but it looked like he went through the hands of one of the Lopes and knocked his stick out of the air, and then when turning, he knocked his stick into the air further, and that's what led to the interference call, but I'm not too sure about that one.
After capitalizing just a few minutes ago, GCU can close the lead to just 3 with a power play goal here. Face-off won by the Lopes. It's on the boards to the far side for Winters. It's Matt. Tried a shot. Goes off a leg. Back out towards center.
Sun Devil minor penalty. Number 22.
GCU working it right back into the zone. Broken up by Went. He'll take control, trying to clear. Chips it off the boards. Here comes Arizona State. Dominic Paulitis couldn't get it past 1. GCU with Witt. Across the blue line, looking to set up on the power play. Mason Witt still with it. Drops it, just misses Tyler Matt. Went takes control for ASU, trying to throw it around the boards. Captain Rusty Johnson keeps it in for GCU. Witt who throws it in front, across the crease, and it's a nice save there from Lebick, sliding left to right. and covers.
And a huge stop there. Can't afford to give GCU 2 quick ones like that and let them get a little bit of hope. Left pad there, a little bit coming in huge on the penalty kill. 64 seconds remaining for the Lopes to capitalize. They are 0 for 3 on the night.
Yeah, he stood tall from the small amount of chances that he's faced. Winters across the ice for Firth. Still with Winters across once again. A blocker saved by Lebick. Still in front though. Lewis takes control, another hack from Firth, and it's Lebick once again who reads the play fantastic. And he holds.
And for how little action that he has faced in this game, only facing 12 shots, those back-to-back saves are huge, and they weren't easy ones at all. Both sliding across the crease and able to control the rebounds after as well and get a whistle.
For a goaltender that hasn't faced a whole lot of shots in this game, he seems to be somewhat settled.
Net off its awning there. But place it back on before the draw.
Firth loses the faceoff. It's chipped out towards center. Here comes Cole Allison once again. It's broken up and GCU will take control. Laidlaw across the ice. Firth looking for Laidlaw going to the net. He finds him, tips it just wide. Sun Devils will clear.
Great job by Laidlaw there, splitting the 2 defensemen to that near post on that middle lane drive and creating space for himself. Almost tipped one in there.
Ethan Winters looking to get something set up. Mini 3-on-2 for GCU. Jordan Watt now behind the net, and they just shove it in and score. Jordan Watt able to capitalize on a broken play for GCU. Just like that, it's now 5-2 in favor of ASU.
The first power play goal for them, a game, and 2 goals within 3 minutes of each other as ASU is now hearing footsteps from the Lobes. One that kind of sat on that near post there on the right skate of Lebick, and it looks like just a couple bangs at it, knocked it right through. Lopes only trail by 3 now.
Yeah, just the persistence from Jordan Watt to stick with the play and shove the puck into the net past Lebick. Here comes GCU once again. 2-on-2 behind the net, battling for it. One of the GCU players looked a little shaken up, Mason Witt, after heading into the boards.
3 white jerseys below the goal line here. If this one squeaks out, here you go. It's a 3-on-2 the other way.
Just as my partner Red went across center. ASU in transition. Went fires it off the side of the net. Behind the net now. Looking to get it back out in front. It's Friedman. Fires a shot off a leg. Hops back out towards the middle, and GCU is able to clear. We'll take it back. It's Dirk Fornwald. Now Colton Campbell, the first goal scorer for GCU. Back to Fornwald, and he'll just dump it in. Tallis in his own corner, chips it up the middle, glove down by Gilbertson. It's Paulitis along the boards. Gives it up to Bedame. Now with Tallis, trying to work it up the ice. Bedame has it off his stick. Lebick has it in his glove, will play it. Tallis around the net for Went. Dylan Went hit on the boards. GCU takes control. Laidlaw throwing it out in front. Goes wide. Gilbertson, a pinching in. Witt takes down 1. Witt along the boards, sidesteps Tallis, throwing it out in front. Sun Devils will clear it out of the danger zone. Kept in by Matt. Now it finally squirts out towards center ice. Laidlaw with a little bit of speed will dump it in.
Starting to feel like roles are reversed here late in this second period. GCU now keeping pucks in themselves and creating high offensive opportunities.
Laidlaw throwing it out in front. It's still there. Beautiful save by Lebick. GCU takes control, still with it. Around the net, Kislecki throwing it out in front. Once again, another shot, another block. That one by Bedame. GCU pressuring. And I don't believe what I see, but Levick's pad is off right now. I hope we have an angle of what just happened.
I can't believe what's happening in this game. I mean, we've seen a stick thrown over the boards. Lebick's pad is off. Now Badame going to the box for some reason. But how about Spencer Lebick? This could easily be a 1 or 2 goal game if it wasn't for his presence between the pipes, especially with how little action he faced in the first half of this game.
And that is a fantastic angle of what just happened. Logan Kislecki was cruising across the crease. I believe it was Miles Gilbertson in the box for it. I believe he's going to get a goaltender interference for cutting across the crease and taking the pad off of Lebick's leg. We'll wait the official word.
Badame and Gilbertson both serving 2 for slashing. They're separate penalties, though. I'm not sure where the slashes were, but 4-on-4 hockey nonetheless.
So I guess the pad of Lebick coming off is not a penalty. Nonetheless, the gift is still giving for us, Easton.
Nonetheless, it's pretty funny.
Colton Campbell, 4-on-4 hockey once again. Winters on the left, trying to get it across center. Winters will now dump it in. Sun Devils still holding on to a 3-goal lead. Starting to see it slip just a little bit. Cole Allison kicks it to his stick and take it back into his own zone. Trying to regroup with a little bit of speed. Will toss it in on net of Stark. It's now back with Winters in the corner, taking control. Battle just along the Zamboni door. Gremlich takes control, walking through the line, firing it on the back door, couldn't find one. It's GCU will take it back out. Colton Campbell to Firth, sidestep Zettler, it's taken down. There will be a penalty coming on Arizona State. It'll be Zettler who will head to the box. I believe it's going to be a hook for hooking Firth.
Pretty clear call there, and something I was going to say to keep in mind is that 2 of the Sun Devils goals have come 4-on-4, but now they're due to the penalty kill. We talked about the 4-on-3 power play earlier, and we do get to see one here.
You don't get to see this opportunity quite often. 4-on-3 hockey really only occurs in overtime, but here in 56 seconds left in the second period, we're getting a little bit of 7 players on the ice, 4 for GCU, 3 for ASU, as the Lopes look to close the lead of the Sun Devils just a little bit more.
And a lot of ice out there. Going to be important for GCU to be patient here. Wait for the right opportunities to open up. There's no need to force anything right now.
Looked like a shot off the draw from Logan Kislecki, so we'll redo it, just 2 ticks off the clock. 43 seconds remaining on the 2 slashing penalties to both teams. Once again, Kislecki wins the draw. GCU takes control. Laidlaw across to Witt, he fires. It was soaked up for a second by Lebick, it now squirts free. Back to the point, Laidlaw fires, goes wide. Another hack and whack, goes to the side of the net with Witt. 34 left in the second period. Trying to work it out is Kislecki, he couldn't. It's now jammed in front, hops over the net. Lewis trying to clear, and it gets past the blue line and out.
And GCU just trying to create chaos in front of the net here late in this period, trying to get the Sun Devils looking around. Can't find the puck, but couldn't capitalize there.
Mason Witt in the corner, fires it into the mitt of Lebick, and he soaks it up with just 10 seconds left in the second period.
Now back to 5-on-4 for the Lopes as well. While not quite as much ice out there, maybe a little more familiar look for them that allow them to set up in a manner that they are used to.
10 penalties in this second period. 6 to the Devils, 4 to the Lopes. It's been barely any 5-on-5 hockey played in the second period.
And it's been some of the more interesting penalties I've ever seen in a hockey game.
The 2 coincidental penalties come off the clock. Arizona State will just clear on the penalty. That will end this hectic second period. Sun Devils still with the lead now, just 3 goals, 5-2 in favor of ASU, and the shot totals have come ever so closer, 30-20 in favor of ASU. As a reminder, it was 22-2 after the first period. East in that second period, GCU looked a lot better.
Yeah, and 15 of their 20 shots came in the second half of that period, which is impressive, but they won that period 2-1, so a step in the right direction for them. They still have a lot of work to do down 3-2, but 64 seconds on the power play to start the period, and they have a real shot to turn this around with all the momentum they have going into the locker room.
GCU will begin on a power play for the third period. Arizona State looking to cling on to this lead and take it to the end of regulation. We'll see what happens after the second intermission. Two-goal second period for GCU is where we see the score 5-2 in favor of Arizona State. As we take a look at the upcoming schedule for Cronkite Plus streams, we'll resume next semester with a January 18th matchup against NAU, followed by a GCU matchup on the 22nd. Both of those games are D2 games. My name's Colgan Herschel. Alongside me is Easton Stockford. Easton, in that second period, Arizona State still had a lot of control for the beginning portion of the period, and then GCU started to get right back into the game. A couple power plays helped out. They scored 2 goals, and this third period is set up to be a fantastic one.
Yeah, and I'm certain that message in the locker room on the ASU side was keep your foot on the gas. You have a 3-goal lead, but everything is going GCU's way right now. You need to find a way to put your foot to the floor and close this one out, starting with a 60-second penalty kill.
You know, we saw pretty much everything within the rainbow in that last period. 6 over the glass, pads falling off, helmets popping off. I mean, you can look back to the beginning portion of that period when Cole Allison was along the boards and got absolutely rocked. I mean, that was unbelievable, and that was just a small sample size of what we saw in that middle frame.
Yeah, it's been quite the closing game to this semester for the two of us. Colgan and almost got hit by a puck in that period as well, but third period awaits, and an important one at that.
It's sure set up to be a good one. GCU takes possession early in the offensive zone. Still looking to close that 3-goal lead. Instead, Arizona State will take it out. Paulitis through neutral. Has one crashing towards the net. He fires a shot on off a leg. Urican takes control. Paulitis will fire a shot on, deflected wide. Off the stick of Winters from GCU, who has been a force on this power play. He had a couple of nice keep-ins on an earlier power play for the Lopes. Elliott Firth across the blue line. Drops it. Gets it back in the corner. Elliott Firth. Once again, playing pitch and catch behind the net. Elliott Firth back to the point for Wyatt Laidlaw. He'll fire a shot on. It's deflected into the air. Elliott Firth takes a tumble, still gets it to Winters, who fires a shot on. It'll be cleared out of the zone by Urkanen and down the ice just as the ASU penalty elapses.
Yeah, huge kill for the Sun Devils. They did a really good job keeping that puck to the outside. Nothing inside the house for the Lopes there, and they remain scoreless on that power play.
Immediately after the penalty kill, Arizona State takes possession. Jason Horner across center. As Gremlich behind the net, trying to find a pass into the middle. Couldn't. GCU coming back the other way. Ethan Winters dumps it into the zone. Will be went first for ASU. Go around the net, stop up, and retain possession. A penalty is coming to GCU. One takes a tumble. That's Tallis as the goalkeeper was leaving. So it'll be a power play, high sticking against GCU forthcoming.
And a lot of penalties in that second period as well. And just 2 minutes into this one, GCU back to the box, and ASU getting a power play chance of their own, having a chance to get one back, get that lead back to 4, and try and flip this momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, so far tonight, Arizona State 0 for 3 on the power play. GCU 1 for 5, and the Sun Devils coming up with a huge power play opportunity here, up 3. Horner wins the faceoff to the left. Lovell keeps it and fires a shot on into the glove of Stark, and he holds easily. Anderson Stark has been impressive here today. He's struggled a little bit with the 5 goals, but it's not like he hasn't had his work cut out.
Yeah, and those first 5 came in a flash as well. A lot of really good scoring chances and opportunities that you can't fault Anderson Stark to for much.
Horner looking for a pass into the middle, couldn't find one. GCU clears. No, kept in at the line by Lovell. Now it gets out. Kyle Schmidt headed the box for high sticking for GCU. Allison across the blue line. Gramlich down the left. Stops up. Still with it. Back to the point. Lovell across for Tallis. Sun Devils set up. Lovell fires a shot into the midsection of Anderson Stark, and he holds on.
And that top unit now going for a change as another piece of equipment is on the ice and out of place, as has been a theme all game long. But that second unit coming out there, ASU just trying to create traffic in front of Anderson Stark. Shots coming in from the point, trying to take away his vision and squeak one through.
Puck goes right back to Stark off the face-off, just two ticks off the clock. Nice setup in the offensive zone on that last possession for ASU. That's been one of the things that they have had a lot of success with here tonight, was keeping the puck in and not letting GCU take control at all when they try and work out of their defensive zone. Went around the net, faces a check from Laidlaw. He'll get the puck right back. Plewa still working on it. Went keeps it in, trying to spin off one. It's GCU trying to clear, can't. Went keeps it in. Tremoli coming down the right side, into the middle, looking for Wetterberg, couldn't find him. Plewa at the point, fires a shot on just to the left. GCU looking for a clear, can't. Went walks the line, beautiful move by Dylan Went, still with it now, fires just over the shoulder of Stark, and it comes out of the zone. Almost a near highlight reel goal there for Dylan Went.
Yeah, how about the move at the blue line, looking like another defenseman who wears number 8 that goes by the name of Kale McCarr there, walking the line.
Sun Devils looking to get right back into the offensive zone. They do such that. DeLuio behind the net. Rosenberg back to the point. Plewa still with it. DeLuio over to Plewa. GCU's penalty has ended. Rosenberg behind the net for Tremoroli. Tries to wrap it in front. Couldn't finish. Tied up, and GCU will take control. Rusty Johnson across the ice. Here comes GCU back the other way. Miles Gilbertson across the blue line looking for a stretch pass. Instead, it goes behind Lebick. Plewa battling. That's Badame. It's GCU working it out. Gilbertson across center ice. Faces a check behind the net. GCU looking to answer after the power play. It squirts to Lebick, and he soaks it up and holds on.
The first 5-on-5 looks for both these teams in this final frame, and both teams kind of trying to find their footing. They both need very different things. ASU just trying to hold on and kind of bottle up this GCU offense, and GCU needs something to spark a fire here, and they need it to spread rapidly and fast. Only 15 minutes to claim 3 goals and fight their way back into this one.
Face off to the right of Lebick. 34-20 in favor of ASU are the shots. Fired on by Schmidt. Puck was still loose, yet the whistle goes. GCU won't like that one, but we'll go right back to the face-off dot.
Only one official out here today as well. As compared to normally 2 linesmen, 2 officials. There's 1 official and 2 linesmen.
Very interesting setup from the referees here today.
Hasn't had an easy game to call either. There's been a lot going on.
Not easy whatsoever. Paulitis in his own zone, regrouping for Arizona State. Off the stick of Lewis and back into the ASU defensive zone. Sun Devils looking to clear. Lewis on the boards. Can't though. Now they do. Paulitis into the GCU zone. Badame trying to get on Schmidt. Stasica in the corner. Puck now squirts to Witt. Shakes off one. Schmidt behind the net. Sees it go off his stick. Pops right in front. And a poke at it by Badame. And it's covered.
Yeah, good job by Anderson Stark there. Coming out to the top of his crease on a loose puck and cutting down that angle. Really not much there in front. And Anderson Stark, is able to get the save.
It'll be Jason Horner on the faceoff for Arizona State. It's in his feet. He kicks it to a teammate. That's Lovell. They'll take control. Lovell down the right side. Behind the net for Horner. Faces a check. Still with it. Lovell out in front. And a nice stop by Stark. Just gets a mitt on it. And it goes up into the netting and out of play.
Huge chance there from the high slot from C.J. Lovell. He already has a 1 tonight, and he's left his footprint all over this game. Had a chance to grow that lead to 4, and would have been a turning point goal and maybe the nail in the coffin for the Sun Devils, but up to the task once again is Anderson Stark.
Lovell has the most recent goal for Arizona State, the 5th one 3 minutes into the second period. Tallis at the point will fire a shot. It goes to the side and he scores! Gramlich on the rebound. Arizona State adds their 6th of the hockey game, 6-2 in favor of ASU.
And that's a tough one to see if you're the Lopes there. You had all the momentum, 2 straight goals, and for ASU to get one there, that might be the final nail in the coffin that they needed.
Cade Gramlich, the 2nd point of the game, 1st goal. And it's a crucial one for Arizona State. Started to see their momentum slip just a little bit, but now they have the 4-goal lead right back.
It's an important shift from both sides. One for ASU, need to play a defensive shift here and try and get pucks below the goal line, while GCU needs to find a response in one way or another.
Christian Little, right side, dumps it into the zone. One pressuring, that's Wawrzeniak. Behind the net, looking out in front. Sun Devils take control. It's chipped out through neutral. It's a high stick brought down by Witt. Probably a smart one, broke up a potential breakaway for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, and honestly, that was pretty impressive to bat that out of midair about 6 or 7 feet above his head and broke up a breakaway opportunity there.
It is 6-7 weekend here in the world. A lot of teams celebrating. I saw the Florida Panthers last night were actually celebrating 6-7 weekend, and of course, the game ended 6-7 in overtime with the Panthers win.
And that's just further proof that professional sports are scripted.
If that's the only case that we have of professional sports being scripted, I don't know if it's scripted, but.
Well, I mean, that's the best case for it to be scripted, I would say. I mean, I would say that's an acceptable reason for it.
GCU back in the offensive zone. Laidlaw looking for a pass in front. He wraps it around the net. Couldn't get a pass off. He's absolutely crunched on the boards by Zettler. Sun Devils back the other way. Looking for a shot on the left side, deflected over the net. GCU breaking out of the zone. Now into the offensive side. Jordan Watt with it. Tried a backhand pass in front. Couldn't find one. Zettler out towards center. A 2-on-1 now brewing for Arizona State. Allison on the right side. Couldn't get the pass from his teammate. That was Plewa. It's a missed opportunity for the Sun Devils as the puck goes out to center.
Really nicely played there on defense by Colton Campbell, going down to block that passing lane, but still threatening enough to the shooter's side to where they can't get a clean shot away.
It's Lewis who drops it back for Stasica. Across the ice for your cannon. It's broken up though. Here comes Schmidt. Dylan Schmidt fires a shot. Goes to the left, off the blocker of Lebick. Out towards center now, Cole Allison, one-on-one with Kyle Schmidt breaking, and he breaks up the opportunity. Kyle Schmidt with the taped 7 on the back of his number 5 jersey. GCU dumps it in. And it dumps it so high it goes out of play into the netting. Faceoff will be back at the Pitchfork at center ice.
And only 12 minutes remaining. 4-goal deficit for the Lopes still, but pretty solid response to that goal. They've had some offensive possession in their zone, haven't been able to create much, but not taking their foot off the gas or giving up on this one.
If you're GCU, you need to throw everything in the kitchen sink. Just put everything towards the net. You're down 4. You need something quick if you want any sort of opportunity to win this hockey game. Battle in the corner to the right of Stark. Your cannon trying to dig it out. Instead, it's GCU, but the puck goes to the point with Wendt. Walks the line, gets tripped up just a little bit. Your cannon, point. Rosenberg walks one in the slot, fires just to the left of Stark, and the puck bounces right back to him, and he'll cover.
Good look there from Rosenberg in the high slot, and a beautiful move, but looked like he didn't get all of that shot, squeaked just wide, and bounce off the end boards. Anderson Stark elects for the whistle, and now the draw will go to the right of him.
Despite the 38 shots that Arizona State has, they have missed a lot of shots wide. They've had a lot of opportunities to put that total into the near 50s.
And the score could easily be a 5 to 8 goal lead, even if it wasn't for Anderson Stark.
Yeah, he stood tall, very much so, even with 6 goals allowed. Sun Devils dump it in. Badame trying to get in. Paulitis chips it around. Friedman in the corner. Still battling. Sun Devils, Paulitis, backhand pass to Friedman, fires a shot off the side of the net. Paulitis out of the corner once again, firing a pass into the slot, couldn't find one. Tallis pressures. It's another block shot for GCU. Pass fired through the slot. As the Lopes look to break out. Winters poke checks the puck into the ASU bench for a whistle.
And a big part of ASU's success tonight has come because of how aggressive their D-core has been, pinching so much. And just as much as the defensemen have been aggressive, the forwards have been defensive, filling in those empty spaces and sliding back when their D-man do step up and keeping that structure of 3 forwards and 2 defensemen. And it's been a big part of their success here tonight.
Jason Horner through center for Arizona State. Puck goes right back to where he just was. Now GCU looks to attack. Into the zone. Wawrzeniak in the corner. Now behind the net. Arizona State breaks out. Once again, just chipped right back to where it came from. In on net of Lebick. He's got a couple of Lopes pressuring, and he just chips it out to center. Just under halfway through this third period. Sun Devils still clinging to a 4-goal lead, looking to take that one all the way to the final whistle. Tripped up just inside of their defensive zone was Horner, and that will force a whistle as pushing and shoving ensues just in front of the Sun Devils bench. I would have to imagine some extra penalties will be added for the extracurriculars.
Yeah, it looked like a cross-check was given when a man was down, but good job by the linesman to hustle in there, break that one up before it got too out of hand. We got a tripping call for sure on the Lopes. It looks like Gramlich is also heading to the box, and we'll see if there's any power plays to come of it.
It'll be Rusty Johnson for GCU to the box. He had the initial one.
I think he had the cross-check after as well.
Now a second one headed towards the box. Nope, he's going to the bench.
And the game misconduct given to both players, it looks like. I'm not sure for what. It didn't seem like it was that out of hand. There's a couple pushes and shoves given, but both players are heading to the locker room.
I think that's just from the referee just sorting this game out, making sure it doesn't get too out of hand. There's still some jawing happening between Gramlich and I think the referee.
So Gramlich to the locker room, but Rusty Johnson is still in the box. And it looks like he's going to be ushered out now.
So
there he goes.
He'll turn around and open the door that's inside the penalty box.
Easy access to the locker room.
We'll see what the situation is set up. I believe it will be an Arizona State power play as GCU had the initial penalty. Lucas Cernecca will stay in the box serving the extra penalty. There's nobody in the box for ASU. We'll hear the announcement now. Face-off won by Arizona State. It's Dylan Wendt at the point. Cross. Pass is interrupted, but kept control. Plewa on the near side. Tremoroli at the point now. Across for Wendt. Back across for Plewa. It bounces over his stick. GCU looks to clear. They can't. Wetterberger across for Wendt. Turns around. Shakes off one. Still with it is Wendt. Nice hustle by Dylan Wendt to keep control of this puck. Now he fires into the glove of Stark and easily controls.
So just for an update on those penalties, Gramlich received a 10-minute misconduct. Johnson received a 10-minute misconduct. And then on top, just the original 2-minute slashing penalty to Rusty Johnson as well, which is putting on ASU on the power play that you're watching right now.
This is where that discipline that we talked about in the opener really comes into play. This ASU team leads the conference in penalty minutes. It is 4th in D3 hockey, as that one's chipped out over the netting on a play.
GCU not too far behind them. 324 penalty minutes for them as compared to the 382 and counting of ASU. There's been plenty of minutes to go around in this one.
Yeah, you can add 26 to both of these teams.
That puts ASU into the 400s.
It's not a total you want to see that high. GCU off the glass, just goes over the stick of Wendt. Tried to kick it to his stick, and they'll have to regroup. 60 seconds thereabout remains for ASU's power play. Turned over right at the blue line. Levick wasn't surprised at all and just calmly sticks it to the side. Went behind his own net. Up the ice. Here's Plewa. Pirouettes at the red line, then falls. And Laidlaw will clear it back out. Dylan Wendt has to turn back, wait for Plewa. Now he'll go. Plewa at the blue line. Stops up, fires it around the net. Has a couple crashing. That's Rosenberg. He takes control. Your Cannon in the corner. Kick to stick from Rosenberg. Checked by Laidlaw and a couple of pushes and shoves as Rosenberg was looking for a penalty. No call coming. Wendt at the blue line. Cross for Lovell. Back to Wendt. Still holding control. A couple of more pushes and shoves at the GCU bench, and both players will head to the box.
And Rosenberg and Laidlaw thought it was on the two of them as they were going at it in front as well, but some words exchanged from Lavelle there.
Rosenberg still jawing with the GCU bench. He's pointing to the scoreboard. Kind of make out what he's saying with that.
I think he's saying that they are winning. And 9 seconds remaining on ASU's power play. I'd imagine these penalties are going to be offsetting.
That would be my guess. They both were jawing at it right in front of the GCU bench, and both are sitting in the box. Referee is gathering 2 players, one from each side, to talk over the scenario. Probably a settle down, calm your players down, and let's get through this hockey game. It'll be Haig and Lovell who will go to the box.
Both game misconducts. So players just dropping like flies out here.
I would have to imagine that any sort of extracurricular, any sort of pushing and shoving will result in a game misconduct going forward. As the referee's trying to set a precedent here. So both teams without another player each.
And Joe Lappin was standing there on the bench with both hands in the air, wondering why they're being ejected, but tight leash here from the officials.
Official.
Well, the one singular official, yes, that's correct. But, I mean, GCU's bench is looking quite empty at the moment.
Yeah, both teams looking a little bit lighter. Hopefully those extra conditioning practices in practice come in handy here. Lewis walking the line across the ice for Friedman. Nice pass, fires. Stark is down. Made a stop still. Friedman down in the corner. Penalty over for GCU. It's at the side of the net. Paulitis just trying to shove it in. Friedman in the corner behind the net for Badame. Now in the corner. Paulitis replaces him. Looking for a pass to Friedman. Sauced it over his stick, and Lewis has to retreat.
And a bit of a break for GCU there. They were 5-on-5, but they were tight inside of the dots there and really not posing much of a threat or any aggression at all defensively.
Campbell into the zone. It's now at the point. Shot fired, blockered away by Levick. Still with it is GCU. Trying to work it back to the point. It's poked free. Colton Campbell keeps it in for the moment, but Friedman gets it to center. Here comes Arizona State, a 2-on-1 and a nice stick in there by GCU Schmidt. But once again, the Sun Devils right back in. Friedman, as ASU goes offsides. Friedman puts his hands on his head. Disappointed with the call. It'll be a face-off at the blue line.
I was very, very close as well. That's the second time this game where ASU's had an opportunity to catch GCU on a bad change, and again, unable to capitalize and create an odd man rush from it.
Tremoroli couldn't get the draw. Still, ASU's able to chip it in. Goes off the pad of Stark. And Laidlaw will bring it out for GCU. It's at center ice. Arizona State working it in. Here's Allison. Going to the net is Tremoroli. He finds him and he just tips it wide. As the whistle blows for the net coming off, it's Moorings. So nice eye there by the solo referee.
Didn't look like it was off by much, but somehow saw it there from his angle where it was just off the goal line and whistles it dead.
He's got eagle eyes. Laidlaw gets the puck off the faceoff. Allison takes it back. Once again with Laidlaw checked on the boards. Here comes GCU back the other way. Firth across the blue line. Sun Devils take control once again off the boards, and Allison presses forward. He's got an opportunity with just the goalie in front of him, and he puts it off the pads and behind the net. Fight's still ensuing along the boards. Allison and Laidlaw getting after it. Dulilo keeps it in for the moment, and Firth out to center. GCU could have a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Elliott Firth looking for the pass back door. Couldn't find him. That was Tyler Mapp pressing onto the goal. Surprised we didn't see any whistles there for the aftermath of Cole Allison and Wyatt Laidlaw.
Yeah, it looked like Allison and Laidlaw just got a little wrapped up there, and no call from the officials. No one really threw any shots. They were just kind of tangled.
Backhand pass to Allison. He tried to fire a shot on. He's shoved into the boards, and a penalty's coming to GCU. Allison draws the penalty. I believe it'll be Schmidt going to the box. Get a number on it. Yes, it will be Kyle Schmidt going to the box for GCU.
And then again, just going back to that discipline that we talked about. You have 5 minutes left to gain 4 goals, and while it's a long shot, you definitely can't do it one man down.
6-2 in favor of Arizona State.
GCU minor penalty number 75.
It's definitely been the least action-packed and the least one-sided of both periods. 5 shots for the Lobes, 11 for ASU in the third frame.
Went at the blue line. Looking for the stick of Ploa. He has it. Back to Went. Across the ice for Wetterberg. He fires. Nice stick save by Stark. Went keeps control. Back for Wetterberg. Sun Devils still set up. Tremoroli in the corner. Back up to the top for Went. Across for Ploa. He'll fire. He scores! Sun Devils add a 7th. Some more pushing and shoving after the whistle, as ASU will celebrate 7-2. Beautiful shot there through the 5-hole.
Yeah, and ASU has done such a great job on this power play, setting up in that 1-3-1. They've worked it through the seams all night, but all it took there was the quarterback of that power play, Dylan Went, to move it along the half wall to that right flank, and 5-hole was wide open there for Ploa, who makes no mistake on it for the 7th goal for the Sun Devils, but that celebration after might draw a response from the GCU side, and if not the GCU side, our single official here.
Well, it already drew a little bit of a response from Payson Harback, who gave a couple of shoves in the corner. We'll see if that ends up with any penalties. I don't believe it will. Referee talking with the coaches of ASU.
And
now the players.
And now he's talking to Ploa. And back to the scorekeeper he goes. It's been a common spot as they're well acquainted now tonight.
Yeah, that half semicircle in front of the scorer's table is definitely going to need some extra Zamboni action, some attention from him.
Sun Devils goal, power play goal, scored by number 21.
No penalties called there for either party, though. Maybe just trying to figure out who got the assists, but
potentially. Badame did have his hand in the air. Nonetheless, Tallis in his own zone, 7-2 in favor of Arizona State. They have controlled predominantly the entire 60 minutes here tonight. Still have 4 of those remaining.
Yeah, about that last 10 minutes in the second period was really all GCU had, and that last goal, the 7th one, pretty much has this one wrapped up like Spotify.
Lucas Cernecca through the middle. Miles Gilbertson working across the blue line, trying to fire a shot on, deflected wide. Wrapped up like Spotify.
You like that one?
I do enjoy that one. On the left side, pass into the middle, trying to add another goal for GCU, but they can held up by Lebick.
ASU tacking more shots on, kind of getting back to that domain they were in before, almost double the shots of GCU with 43 on the game now to GCU's 26.
It'll be Tremoroli on the faceoff. Will go against Dirk Fornwald of GCU. Fornwald wins the draw, back to the point. Fired shot is blocked. Fornwald takes control, spinning shot. Couldn't find the stick of Little on the left. Still in the middle, Fornwald has it go off his skate, and the Sun Devils come back the other way. Allison through neutral. Taken control by Little, and Allison was looking to get an extra hit on the play, but Little was going to the bench. Plewa up for Tremoroli. 2-on-2 now. Tremoroli drops it for Allison. He'll fire off the glove of Stark. And GCU takes control. Kept in at the blue line as they've done so much here today. Big hit there by Laidlaw. And Allison in front of us responds. Back and forth physicality between both of these teams the entire afternoon.
And going to be very important for ASU to stay disciplined here in these last 3 minutes with the lead. GCU has nothing to lose, and this could get out of hand depending on how they respond. But ASU, this isn't a game you want to find yourself getting suspended in a blowout.
Allison, left side. Controlling, looking, waiting. Into the middle, behind Plewa. Zettler in first. Plewa trying to keep it in. He does just that. Chips it in on Stark, and he'll hold on.
And a bit of a late hit on Cole Allison there. Some pushing and shoving in front of us, but again, the official just letting him play a little bit. Nothing too serious. Trying to not kick anyone else out of this game as the benches are already a little shorter than they were when we first started here at the Macy Iceplex.
Be Wetterberg on the draw for the Sun Devils. They have a 5-goal lead, their biggest of the night. GCU clears. Horner now on defense will chip it into the zone as both benches are a little bit lighter. You might see some new positions for some players. That one's just tossed into ASU zone and will go far enough for icing for GCU.
Not always a bad thing to learn another position as well as you can understand every other position on the ice. It allows you to build a level of hockey IQ that you can't have if you just play center or left wing your whole life. So maybe Coach Joe Lappin trying to create some diversity in the squad.
And I imagine with Jason Horner being the captain that he has that trust from his coach to be able to play that style of hockey where he can shift into any position in the lineup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stastica in his own zone. Kept in by GCU. No offsides. It's taken over by Rosenberg. He's checked at the blue line. Here's your Cannon. He's got a couple of nifty assists on the evening. He'll take it off the block shot. Winters with it. Go back into his own zone. He falls, takes control. With over just 100 seconds left in regulation. 7-2 Arizona State. Stastica for Horner. It's out towards center. Here comes Arizona State looking to add to this lead. Friedman gets the puck off the block shot. Out towards the blue line. The puck is poked off his stick and out towards center. Taken over though. Here's GCU. They fire and misses it on the breakaway. That was Elliot Firth with the shot there on the breakaway attempt.
It would have been a little icing on the cake for GCU, but going to go down as a blowout loss for them. ASU is going to move to 3-2 on the series this year, and a dominant win that showed a lot about this team and why they're ranked 18th and GCU's ranked 40th in the country.
Yeah, and pretty much from the opening whistle, you mentioned those final 10 minutes of that second period, but ASU is seemed in control of this hockey game for the majority of it. Just going to keeping the puck in at the blue line. I mean, they've done that so successfully here tonight. They don't there, and GCU will chip it in, but they've really controlled pretty much every asset of this game.
Yeah, there was a slight lapse of focus late in that second period, but other than that, the structure of this ASU team has looked the best tonight as it has all season long.
Nice move from Allison, walks in, saved by Stark. That was a beautiful move at the line from Cole Allison. 10 seconds remain. GCU looking to add to it. One falls at the blue line. Still with it now. Tyler Matt trying to work in on net. One taken down in front of Lebick as more pushing and shoving all the way up until the whistle. So now fists are off. Another helmet comes off as this thing might get ugly. Allison's helmet once again falls off, the second time in this hockey game. So the final whistle has blown.
And Riley Tallis waving goodbye, and now some words to the ASU bench on the way out.
So as the players pile off their benches, some go to the box or to the locker room early. They'll get some extra hot water. 7-2, your final in favor of Arizona State and Easton. We've talked a lot about it, but just Arizona State, just a complete game from them. What did you like specifically from the Sun Devils, from Joe Lappin's team?
I talked about their structure, but specifically the forecheck looked phenomenal. They were running a 1-2-2 aggressive where the defensemen are constantly pinching, and everyone seemed to be in the right place at the right time throughout the entire game, and it allowed them to keep the momentum in the zone, build on attacks, and ultimately dominate this game on the scoreboard.
So that'll do it for us here at the Mountain America Community Iceplex Arena. Your final score, 7-2 in favor of Arizona State. That's our final stream for the semester. We'll see you again on January 18th. Thank you so much for listening.